opening the meeting of the Walpole Sewer and Water Commission here on the 15th of September, 2025. The meeting is held at the Washington Street Delaney Treatment Plant in Walpole. We have a posted agenda, and the meeting being, the time being 6:30, we can start the meeting. We have on the agenda, the first item is the the superintendent's, some minutes. We're from September 4th. If anyone has any correction on this September 4th meeting?
I record, I didn't see any major issue.
How about you, Patrick? Any?
I'm just, I'm looking it over again. I think there was a question I had. Oh yeah, we went into executive session, isn't that correct? And our clerk took the minutes.
I took them.
You took the minutes for that.
I did
And
send it
your minutes, you have already,
to
you
emailed
emailed it to the,
Tom.
to the town. Okay. Yeah, and later on, can we discuss those minutes that the clerk took?
Yeah.
Okay, I think we can
There's a
do it under,
discussion point.
we
yeah.
can do it under Article 7, open session, okay?
Do you want to discuss those minutes in open session?
No, what this is that these, we have to write those things out, what we talked about.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but we want to be transparent here. So,
But I'm just asking, you want to do it in open session?
Yes.
Or you were in executive session?
no, we're not going back in executive section.
Okay.
We're going
Now,
to,
what was wrong supposedly with your going into executive session?
well,
Nothing.
can we discuss that when we get to, when we get to this here?
Yeah, because I can't find anything wrong with you going into executive session.
Okay,
We
thank you.
don't think there is,
But,
but,
you know, what we used to do is we used to say, we're going into executive session, but no votes will be taken in executive session. And when we come out of executive session, that's when we voted.
yeah, well, we didn't, we'll talk about it when we get to that.
Okay, so I'll move we
That's-
accept the minutes from September 4th. Any second?
I second it.
Moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I wasn't present, so I don't want to abstain because I'd be counted with the majority. So I'll just not vote.
That's absent.
Okay,
That's abstaining.
that's abstaining, yeah.
Abstaining from the vote.
No, abstaining, you're counted with the majority.
I don't think you can, do you
That's
remember,
Robert's rules, unless you've changed Robert's rules.
I don't know about that, but, okay, we know that you don't want to vote on this. How
No
about that?
vote for Mr. Hamilton.
Yeah.
Okay.
3-0 something.
3-0.
It's 3-0.
Okay. Now we have, the superintendent is not in attendance. This is the second meeting. He's not here representing the town.
It's Assistant Superintendent?
Mr.
Where's
Nunnery
he?
is the super and water, and,
Yeah, but where's the assistant? He usually comes.
no, he is not here either.
Okay,
So that's Scott Gustafson and Stephen Nunnery is the superintendent.
and
So they're not here.
the Director of Public Works sometimes comes. He's not here either.
No,
And of course, the town administrator isn't here.
correct,
So we have nobody from the town here.
except for the secretary, Tracy.
Yeah, okay.
Okay,
All right,
so I'll just,
I want to raise the objection, the town not sending their representative in this meeting. This is clear obstruction of people's court. This is not the way it should work. The town administration is behaving as if he's the king, and he has passed the Article 7, and he's not sending his agents to this board meeting. And that's a very, I'll say, sad situation that he's using this as his political game.
Okay.
The board should work as is, whether Article 7 passes or not, whether the people are interested in water and sewer boards or not. The board was set up to monitor the water and sewer department, and there should be a town representative in every board meeting.
Thank you.
That's my statement.
Well,
Thank
you know, the chairman was explaining to me, I forget the last meeting, that the town actually canceled 3 of our meetings, is that correct? Or is it 2 meetings they canceled?
Well, they've canceled 3 meetings, but in the recent past, over the summer, they canceled 2 meetings for lack of agenda.
Yeah, we didn't really have a lot of agenda items.
Okay,
And then there was another meeting where the superintendent couldn't make it during the holiday.
okay.
So,
So, and then,
that's 3 meetings.
at the last meeting, there was nobody here either, except the town secretary, right? Is that correct? Am I getting this all right?
That's correct,
Okay.
yes. So, yeah, now, you know, I think what you're going to is, I'm not gonna, Sewer and Water Commission pays a hefty amount of money for the staffing to
Well, how
attend this
much-
meeting. There are agents, and we pay for the
Excuse
staff.
me, how much money do we pay?
Well, you can look it up.
We pay $2 million as a charge back to the town hall.
2 million?
$2 million to provide the administrative support.
Okay, yeah, and I thought,
The-
okay, thank you.
I
So
have
anyway-
the number. If you want, I can read the number. I have the numbers.
That, you know, should maybe put a debit in the budget for that, but, at any rate, we do pay for the staff to be here, whether somebody likes the commission or not, or individuals. Unfortunately, it shouldn't be personalities or anything else. I was just gonna say, before we got into that sidebar, I will read the correspondence in the late mail. Just into the record, I'm sure Terry has a copy of this, but status report for 9/15. This is on the stationery of Stephen Nunnery. They're starting to see seasonal slowdown in pumping, average 2.7 million gallons a day. Last week, bacteria samplings inside an Old Post Road tank came back positive for total chloroform, negative for E. coli. They conducted repeat sampling, and all samples were cleared. They're now upping chlorine levels at the treatment plant to 2.5 milliliters of chlorine, and seeing some seasonal turnover in our water tanks as the days cool and the tanks stratify. We've been conducting a system-wide cross-connection survey of commercial businesses in town. This has been done in conjunction with Wesson and Sampson, and they have resources to survey licensed personnel, roughly 160 sites across the town. They're 2/3 the way through this sample of 160. Owners who need additional water line protection are being notified through Wesson and Sampson, and sent mailed letters, at least 3 notifications. Department submitted grant applications in this past week for $219,000 for 3 pumps replacements and a HVAC upgrade of 2 of our distribution pumping stations, Washington Street Booster, High Street Booster. The town's monetary contributions for this project would be 10% of the project. The deadline for application is the end of the month. The grants will be done in partnership with the town's consultant, Vision Engineering Solutions. Okay? So then we have a late mail from Mr. Nunnery. Please see attached update on the MWRA water connection from Weston and Sampson. For your reference, EENF is Expanded Environmental Notification Form. SEIR is Single Environmental Impact Report. EIR is Environmental Impact Report. And MEPA is Massachusetts Environmental Policy Act Office. WRC is Water Resource Commission. These are entities involved in the permit application, both for the interbasin transfer of water and also for other environmental issues related to an application for the MWRA. So it seems that the report, without reading the whole email from Wesson and Sampson, is that they've been making progress. The following have occurred with the Mylar Street project. They filed the EENF and requested an SEIR. Meeting was held with MIPA and indicated they are inclined to require a draft and final EIR for the project. As a result, they began moving the pump and interior pump station design forward as an inclusionary step. WRC has indicated that we should require an interbasin transfer in the amount of only what is justified, 1 MGD, which is 1 million gallons per day, and not fully system redundancy. Updated plan showing the extension of a 12-inch water main through Norwood will be provided to the MIPA as required this week. The design is a little beyond 40%, with a need of 60% at the time of filing the EIR. Beyond the update, we have begun to compile the following information and initiating the following: evaluating summer water usage and pumping to dry to demonstrate that the stress of the aquifer, what the stress of the aquifer is. Please provide a copy of the town's water conservation plan, and we should begin to preparing for M36 water audit if it has not been yet completed. So this comes from Tony to the superintendent. Tony's with the Wesson and Sampson. So that's the superintendent's report. Hopefully there are no questions.
Yeah, I got a question.
Okay, Mr. Hamilton?
I spent a lot of time with Frank Farinacci, who worked for the MWRA. And he told me the best place to connect water from the MWRA is at the water tanks in South Walpole. That would involve not having to do major changes to the infrastructure of our water system. And I didn't look at that myself, but I'm pretty sure that if Frank Farinacci told me that, he knew what he was telling me. And the MWRA brought a water line all the way up Route 1, close to our two South Walpole water tanks. So why can't we get water from the MWRA at a much lower cost to the town of Walpole than having to build all of this stuff down at Norwood to get water in through Norwood, when we already have water from the MWRA at the stadium right across from our water tanks? In fact, there's a big water tank that is very close to our water tanks. So
Well-
I'd like to hook up to the MWRA from Route 1 at the stadium, right across from South Walpole.
All right, well, that's not the subject of the report from the superintendent.
I might be able to answer a little bit of that.
No, I'm sorry, out of order. I'm talking about the superintendent's report. That's on the agenda. When it gets to the agenda, you can talk about the MWA till the cows come home. And Mr. Hamilton, if you have such information, you should take it to our paid consultant, Leah. Her address and phone number is right at the office. You can tell our consultants all about your connections and all the things you just said. And also our superintendent and our DPW director. I think you should do that forthwith if you do have this information, and question them, because they have asserted these are not correct facts. So you're going to have to work that out.
It's not that they're incorrect facts. I'm saying it's just more economical for the town of Walpole to hook up the MWRA in South Walpole at the water tanks than to
Yep.
go through all of this stuff down at Norwood.
Well, if your assumptions are true, that could be the case, but you'll have to work that out with them, because they deny this. And they were charged with finding all connection possibilities, and they're paid a significant amount of money for a whole engineering company to do that. So-
Who denied it?
Please, we'll talk about the MWRA when we get there. This was the
This was the report.
This was
This
the
was the
report of the superintendent. It's not the topic we're on. Okay, I'm looking for the capital budget, Jim Johnson memo, August 14th. Did anyone have any comments on that? Some of you were at the capital budget presentation. I guess Bill Abbott was there, and myself. But some of the capital budget was reviewed on the FinCom meeting of the 8th. Some of you were there for that. So anyone have any questions about that? Are we all set with the
So
capital budget? You're good?
No, I think the last meeting, this same memo was presented, and we said that the water numbers were not adding up for us to vote. The spreadsheet does not tell us how much water department is going to spend, and the total amount was not present. So is there an update on this spreadsheet, or it is the same memo which was sent again to us?
Well,
I don't know.
when you say that, in other words, because it's not filled out for all 5 years, you're saying it's not complete, is that what you're saying?
No. This year, which number is going to go to the
Town meeting?
Town meeting to vote?
Yeah.
What is that number? I can't find out what is that number.
It's, where is it here now? You might know, I've got the wrong damn glasses. Oh, here it is. What they do is they bring it down under sewer department.
Which page you are looking?
There's no page numbers on this report. It looks like this. Here, right here.
Okay, total requested value. Water borrowing of 2.5 million, sewer borrowing of 2 million, water retained earning 1.17 million, and sewer retained earning 950. And is that number correct?
It doesn't give there's no copy of the warrant article. If this is it, this is,
Yeah, because the sewer department, sewer retain earning is adding up to 750K, and here it's say 950K. Where is the another 200K?
I'll have to look back. No, the first column is the department request.
So sewer retain earning.
So he's saying this, the request was 9 million.
No. Your total, what is coming requested, you said to look at here.
Yeah,
So sewer retain earning, which will be used, is $950,000.
okay.
But under the sewer department is just $750,000, which will be used. So where are the $200,000 being spent?
Okay.
They,
Doesn't say.
yeah.
Well, we'll find out about that.
So DPW, Public Works is using $75,000. They're using for drainage system diagram $60,000 from sewer retain earning. And they are also using $65,000 for culvert design on Summer Street. So the sewer fund is used by Public Works Department to design some other stormwater or I think drainage system around the town.
Mm.
Similarly, a water retain earning of 20,000 and 55,000 is used for drainage and culvert design in Summer Street. Do everyone in the Summer Street pay for water bills? Do anyone has this information? Mr. Patrick Weston, do everyone on the Summer Street has a water connection?
On what?
Summer Street,
Yeah.
do they have water meter?
I can look at my, I don't want to give you the answer unless I check it out. Okay, give me a couple of minutes, I can tell you.
Because our board, I have seen that only allows sewer upgrades to the streets which are already have betterment charges.
Okay, I can give you the answer as soon as I find it here.
Okay, no, that's fine. But
I'll tell you, it'll be kind of old because I've requested updates and have not gotten them on the sewer and water infrastructure.
See,
But
that-
I will find it here, at least the last one I received.
here's the original
Huh?
capital improvement plan here.
Yeah,
You got
that's
that.
fine. I was raising doubt on the using the water and sewer retail earning for
For
town level projects.
DPW?
Yeah, for
Yeah.
DPW
I
because
get it, yeah, okay.
not everyone in the town has a water meter. Not everyone in the town has a sewer charges on their bill.
Okay,
We can't use water and sewer charges for town level projects.
I'm gonna let you look at the map. Here's the map, you can get right down to the street, okay? And that's the map of the water system.
But are everyone on the Summer
Well,
Street?
take a
has
look and
okay.
see,
Okay.
okay? So see where the Summer Street line
Whether they have
goes.
sewer, what's the question?
He
about
wants to
sewer?
know if it goes in front of all the houses.
Sewer?
Water.
Sewer and water both.
Okay, that's another map.
Okay.
Okay, that's the water one you have there.
It's a map up here, I can pull that board off and you can see that if you want.
And that will blow up to each house. You can actually almost see.
There's a full-size map right here,
Okay.
if you want to look at it.
This one?
That's the aquifer map, no, on the board.
Okay.
See where there's a white board there?
Mhm.
If you just pull that back, the full-size map is there.
This is water.
It's in C7. There's an 8-inch water line on Water Street. Pradeep,
Yeah.
there's an 8-inch water line.
8-inch water line,
Yeah,
no sewer line.
I gotta check the sewer, okay? There is a,
There are people in South Walpole that don't use Walpole water.
that could be.
They have private wells.
Yep, that could be. But there is water available. It's an 8-inch water line.
And $200,000 is not a small amount. I want to raise objection.
Oh, okay, I get it.
Yeah, it's not a small amount for doing work on DPW umbrella for townwide projects. Similarly, the water retained earnings are also used here. The number shows up $75,000.
Water Street has sewer.
$85,000.
It has the sewer. It's right there. I see 3 manholes. Okay?
Summer Street.
Water Street, you said?
No, Summer
Summer
Street.
Street.
We are talking about Summer Street.
Oh, that's a whole different
The
stuff.
fund is used to
Oh,
make
okay.
something on Summer Street.
Summer Street has sewer,
Okay,
All right,
okay?
is that it?
that's it.
Okay, thank you. All right,
That's last.
Last meeting, we didn't vote on this budget. Do you want to take vote on this capital budgets?
I think we did. I'll entertain revoting. I'll make the motion that we approve the capital budget. On the memo, August 14th. Is there a second?
Yeah, I'll second it.
Okay. Moved and seconded.
So what's this vote gonna do?
It allows the agent to submit a written article for the budget so it can be presented and discussed at town meeting. And they ask, what's the vote of the Sewer and Water Commission? We can say whatever, 000 or 401 or whatever. So just taking a vote of, okay? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
No.
No.
Okay.
And the no vote is because of using retained earnings for townwide projects. That's my comment.
Okay. All right, speaking of the town meeting, the next item, there's been a town meeting room assignment. Sewer and water is room 142 prior to town meeting.
Are we supposed to meet there at 6? Or what's that room for this time?
It's for if the board calls a meeting to meet, to discuss something that's come up
Okay.
between now and the October meeting.
We
so
don't
that
have,
We have a room slot for
Okay.
that.
we don't have anything right now, do we?
We don't have any set agenda yet.
No, we haven't organized a meeting yet.
Okay. All right.
All right, so now, we get down to the bottom here. Discussion, Article 7, open session. This was, Mr. Fasenello asked this to be on the agenda on this particular date. So, any of the commissioners want to make a statement? By the way, I would just say, people watching, if they're going to make statements, we have 4 commissioners here. Mr. Abbott is away on a planned trip. But Mr. Fasenello is a longtime member of the commission. He's our representative to the MWRA. He's been in that role for many years. He's very respected. A lifelong aficionado of sewer and water. And he's been here many years on the board. I forget how many years, Patrick? 26 years?
I think it's 104.
102, okay. But at any rate,
No, that's how long the board has been in.
so someone made a comment at the finance committee that the board lacked expertise and they should have appointed expertise. I had to laugh at the sophomoric conduct of the finance committee, someone who probably been on a committee 2 years for their life. I've been on a committee 50 years in Walpole, on every committee you can imagine, except Board of Selectmen. Mr. Fasenello has been on for decades. Mr. Hamilton has been a selectman. He's on many commissions and boards and committees. And Mr. Mishra is an expert on utilities and the utility industry, and he's been a 2-term commissioner. So I find it hilarious, someone would say, and in the same breath, the person said, they've studied this Article 7 for many months, and they do very diligent study. I'm saying this, well, it just came out like 2 weeks ago, so, and really how much studying you did, ma'am. And I did think some of the comments were elder abuse. They were making fun of the age of commissioners, which I think is disrespectful. So anyway, I was going to say, Bill Hamilton has been a selectman. He's been on many years. His expertise is the water protection and Board of Health, but he's really knowledgeable on everything, zoning, as well as planning, and as well, Mr. Mishra really knows the insides of finance as far as utilities go and his ability to judge financial statements and to evaluate the water usage, the production, the capital funding, and the capital spending. So with that, any commissioner, Mr. Abbott is very experienced for many years with myself on capital budgeting and on the commission. So we have a ton of experience, contrary to what there's been alleged. Go ahead.
Oh, well, now it's getting on here, but about a couple of weeks ago, I got an email, beginning, I think, of, actually, it was the day after the warrant closed. And it said that the selectmen had proposed an article, Article 7, which I have put on this little stand here, that the town abolished the elected Sewer and Water Commission and replace it with an appointed one. Okay, that appointed one would be made up of 5 members also, and 2 of the members would be picked by the selectmen, and 2 of the members would be picked by the Finance Committee, and 1 member would be picked by the town moderator. Okay, so in some respects here, we have an appointed committee appointing a committee, which begins to get pretty far from the voters. Anyway, I thought it was a joke at first, but it wasn't. And I started thinking about this, and I said, how did this all start? How come we, all of a sudden, out of the blue, this thing appeared? So one of the things we discussed, and it was not answered, by the way, by the town administrator, was, here's the words, I think it is. Okay, the board formally requests that the town provide a written explanation and documentation of the public process, excuse me, that led to the select board's sponsorship of Article 7, which proposes to eliminate the elected Sewer and Water Commission. Okay, specifically, the board requests dates and notices of any public hearings or forums held on this matter, a record of the public comments received, and the vote history of the select board on Article 7. We never got those, and we just thought that was very strange that they try to get rid of a board that's been an elected board since 1895. That's 130 years ago. It's been elected all that time. I mean, that's like 29 years after the Civil War. That's how long this board has been in effect. And all of a sudden, they want to get rid of it. So that, to me, was a strange occurrence. Anyway, that's one of the things we asked. And the other things we asked, I'll let the chairman talk about that, or the clerk, concerning public information and the transition plan to monthly billing and the public financial statement, which are very important. Basically, 130 years ago, those people were interested, or they were trying to keep the town's funds separate from the sewer and water rates. In that case, well, there was no sewer, but the water rates. And they did not want the town to commingle funds with the water rates. So that is why they wanted an elected board that could protect that system of monetary segregation.
That's correct. I think the separation of duty was put because Water Enterprise Fund, which is a very huge amount. This year it's around $6.5 million. Sewer Enterprise Fund is also $6.5 million. On top of it, the Water and Sewer Enterprise Fund protects the water ratepayers. Not everyone in the town has a water meter. Many people have wells. They draw their own water. So it protects the resident who have water meter. So they are relying on that particular board and authority to charge them fair amount for the water charges. On top of it, the enterprise fund should be used for water and sewer only. The enterprise funds should not go to any other projects. What I have seen is that town is, other than the cost of drawing the water and supplying the water, it charges 20 to 25% as a chargeback as administrative cost for town hall employees, which are not fully recovered by water and sewer ratepayers. Plus, on top of it, it gets another enterprise fund also generates another 20 to 25% extra profit every year above budget, which is called, in the town language, they call it water retained earning and sewer retained earning, and they runs in millions of dollars. So what is happening is that the budget are projections and the rates, whatever the town does, the water ratepayers and sewer ratepayers are paying a lot of money to the town to spend a lot of money on this infrastructure, which sound very strange, seeing the infrastructure is very solid and very good enough, and there are checks and balances all across the infrastructure to make sure that the water supply remains available. But giving 20% charge back to the town, and on top of it more than 20% to water retain earning and sewer retain earning, which I call it as a profit from the enterprise fund, to spend more to the town is what needs more eyes. It needs more checks and balance. It does not need a control of another advisory board which will spend that money on the projects which may not be needed for the water and sewer ratepayers. We see it already in the capital budget thing. $200,000 of sewer is being spent on some drainage project, which is not good. So we need to have checks and balance. We need to have separation of duty. Not every town has water and sewer board, but not every town is like Walpole. Walpole is 3 zip code serving more than 26,000 residents, and not every town has every board elected, and not every town has every finance board or planning board elected. So you cannot compare apple to apple, but the main point is the $15 million which water and sewer ratepayers are paying to the town. Are they getting their value, or is it being used to spend on unnecessary projects, townwide projects? And that was the reason the water and sewer board was separated. That is the reason a separate enterprise fund is being set from that ratepayer. Taxpayer don't have any says on it, and that separation of funds is protected by independent water and sewer board. And if the town is trying to remove that means they don't want that separation of funds and rely on water and sewer ratepayers to fund all their fancy projects and chargebacks.
So you're saying if the appointed people are also the recipients of the funds from the rates the water system members pay, they can raise rates as they see fit for whatever they want to spend it on. In other words, they can They're the overseers of their own budget.
Yeah, so the reason that there are three different funds, you know, water enterprise fund and sewer enterprise fund, and of course the property tax fund is for different purposes. It's so the people should monitor and do the checks and balance about, is it for everyone or is it for just the water ratepayers? That check should be done.
People don't have the ability to do that, and that's why they have a commissioner. So I would just say that this is a utility commission. Our utilities are different than typical enterprise. It's a monopoly. And it monopolizes the people within their domain. They have no choice. So it needs to be, their interests need to be represented. This is why in the state we have the people come in and argue for the rates. They argue to raise rates, and the utility commissioners have to study that and make sure that capital funding is being properly used, that the operating funding is capital appropriately used, and to make sure that the best result for the money being spent winds up in customer service and customer care, which is a big thing of Pradeep Mishra's program. And that's certainly a reason to keep an elected board, even if you don't like the personalities there. That is easily remedied. Every year there's two people or one person up for re-election or retirement or both. So in a matter of 14 months, you could change the whole board, actually. I would just say, I'm shocked at this. I think I know the genesis of it. I think there's forces who are very opposed to MWRA possibility of a supplemental service. And, have given misrepresentation of, not misrepresentation, but have taken the worst case to give figures to make people think it'll be an astronomical cost. And I find that to be very unfortunate. But anyway, that's one of the roles we play. Also reviewing plans, reviewing availability, reviewing the resources, meeting with homeowners about their problems, negotiating settlements about abatements, and looking at the long-term supply. Now, I would say two people that live in town, many times workers in a water department, not necessarily this one, do not live in the town. They work here and they go home, and someday they're going to retire or leave or take another job. The people in the commissions are usually lifelong residents, people who have been here many years and will be living here many years. So they're much more attuned into the welfare of the ratepayers than, and possibly by trying to upgrade services and upgrade quality, like the program or the new meter program. It makes more work for the staff, but it also makes long-term better service, better quality of product, better water, and that's where we're focused. I just think that's my only comment on the thing, and I don't want to, I guess I will. I would like to show one example.
Okay, before you do that,
Okay.
before they forget what Commissioner Mistress said. Pradeep, you were talking about the money and how the revenue streams, the three revenue streams. And I just want the people out there to know, we were aware of this, and we instituted an audit to find out what type of money was going where. So we proposed that the Commonwealth, they have an actual bureau that does audits. And I talked to the town administrator, and I suggested that we get that state audit commission to look at Walpole and find out if the indirect costs especially were being used appropriately. Well, it turns, excuse me, hay fever season. It turns out that the town did talk to the state audit, and the town said that they would pay to have their own audit and give the results. So, the town conducted their own audit.
Of themselves.
Yes. And they actually found out there was a discrepancy. And that discrepancy, we never found out where that money went, which is interesting. I've asked a few times, and I'd like to see where that discrepancy went. I thought the audit would be a lot more, how would I say, stringent. But again, it was the town hired a consultant with your money to do something that could have been done free by the Commonwealth, and that's one of the things that we're dealing with now. Basically, we're a pain in the neck to the town, because we're constantly protecting your money and causing trouble, I guess. Not for you, but for the administration of the town. So I just want to say that we knew what's going on, and we're trying to fix it, and we have some other things in store that we will do if we're around.
And we've pursued that role in a reserved fashion. The structure is such that actually the town works for the Water Commission. We're a separate entity. The Sewer and Water Commission has paid and built for the entire system, other than what developers have donated on streets and commercial projects. The town hasn't paid a penny towards these. We've raised the funds with the ratepayers for their own system and provided all this service and so forth. We use the town of Walpole exclusively as our agent to carry all this out. And we trust with them our goals and objectives and the missions we have for serving the public with the best quality water and the best system possible. And it's sad that there seems to be, if it is the selectmen, a group that doesn't want, it's not that we're perfect, and I think any commission is willing to change. And again, we're not permanent fixtures here. Voters can move and change the board in a matter of months. They can change the entire board. But the checks and balances is the important thing. I'll give you one example, and this is only illustrative, but I don't know how people see the, what's happening with our oversight. Hopefully, Patrick can zoom in on it. You guys can look at it after. Can you see that, Patrick?
Yes, I can.
Okay. See, I'll stand up here. This is just an illustration again. This didn't happen, but in 2022, we were going for rate hearing for 2023. We're waking up a proposal for 2.5% increase in the water rates. I've got an example here of I would call it a low or a moderate, a low water user. $580 for an annual base payment for their sewer and water bill. Approximately $145 a quarter. On a 2.5, the billing was increased $12 a year. Their bill would go up over that period of time. I'm taking till today, in other words, from 23 to 25, it's not quite even 3 full cycles. That water bill would be up to $626 a year, which is an increase of $46 a year, which 2.5% compound, it turns out to be just about 8%. You compare that to the selectmen's representative proposed an 18% water rate increase. The $580 went from a base payment of $145 a quarter, up $83, period. And the total amount is, for the 3-year period, at $934. It went up $354 over that period from the base period, which is 60%, 18% compounded. So $46 versus $354. $46 what you get with sewer and water commissioners being elected. $354 is what you get with the selectmen running the show with volunteers and with appointees. And on a large bill, $1,160, the total bill is $1,252 after 3 years. And that's a 2.5%. You have $92. And again, an 8% increase for a large water user going from $1,160 to $1,252. With the 18%, we went from $1,160 to $1,869 for the year. $700 plus increase, again, 60%. So I've got a whole pile of examples of where we're trying to save money for the ratepayers and represent their interests. I just thought this might give you an illustration of what can happen.
Yeah, I do remember the 18% request from the town to increase the water rate, and the board voted against it. There was a big public hearing here. They wanted to increase the rate even before June. I think they were trying to increase the rate in March before all the data was there. And in the end, the rate increase was bare minimum 2 or 3%. And that year also, that financial year also, there was a water retained earning of millions of dollars. So not only the water payers paid more above the budget, but they also paid millions of dollars extra in water retained earning for town to spend more. So there was no need to increase by 18%, and which was clearly visible from the month-to-month revenue data which was coming to the town. We know that the ratepayers, they usually pay up all the budget amount in first 9 months. First 9 months of his financial year, the ratepayers, they pay to the town the cost of running the water board plus chargeback. Anything after the first 9 months goes to water retained earning. And doing any rate hearing in off time in the middle of the financial year is not advisable when you have so much water retained earning coming year after year.
Can I just say something? Excuse me. We've also been criticized that keeping the rates at 2.5 is not the best thing because of inflation. But according to the United States government, if we can believe them, which I do, the 10-year rate for inflation is 2.29%. And we've been doing 2.5%. So the thing is, we're keeping up with inflation, and that's what we should be doing. We added a little bit on there for new and different things that come up. But basically, the difference between 2.29 inflation rate and 2.5, which the people voted for, actually, when they passed Proposition 2.5, seemed very, very reasonable.
That's it.
Yeah, and that's flexible as well. It's not that there's some kind of set rule. When there was COVID, one year we didn't increase rates at all.
That's right.
And if there's economic times that we need to raise the rates, one of the things that influences the rate setting on that particular one example is the MWRA has certain fees that they raise to us that we have to pass on. And so in those cases, on the sewer side, the rate that's calculated into total formula may go up more than 2.5%. So there's nothing frozen about that, but it's just the mental attitude is we're looking to get the ratepayer the best service for their dollar, the best results, the best water, the best system. And even with the MWRA thing, I think we've pushed on a couple things that are expensive to people who are in the water field, may not appreciate. One being the billing system, which is being implemented. It's expensive, but it's taking our system to the 21st century. It's been behind, and that's a good thing.
I just want to say about the billing system statement. For $15 million, no billing system is expensive. The $15 million is a huge amount for any utility to collect. And Walpole, town of Walpole resident are paying $15 million to have water and sewer supply, and that should be respected. They should get what Norwood residents are getting. Norwood residents are getting monthly billing. They are paying the monthly bill without the 40 cents convenience charge which town of Walpole has for checking account. And we need those answers. We want to know why town of Norwood is able to send monthly bills and able to collect on the similar water charges, but not the Walpole.
Can I ask Pradeep a question? Okay, we've been talking about monthly billing for years. Even before you came on the board, I was in favor of that. The state tells us that's one of the ways we should be billing. It is the preferred way to bill monthly like every other utility. Why do you think, since I've been on now, why do you think they're resistive to us having a 12-month billing schedule?
I think it's less desire to serve the public. Whenever we have given a simple suggestion of, let's say, removing the 40 cents, the town people said that people can come and pay. They can buy 40 cents of stamp. I don't know which age they are living, but they don't have any desire to serve the resident. They don't know that residents have moved out of using stamps. They are paying all the utility bills on different for electricity, telephone and everything in a more modern way. And gas bill, whatever, oil bill or something. There are QR code, there's Venmo, there's so many other things people are paying. No one is going to post office to buy, and no one is waiting for printed bills. So the lack of understanding of the billing process, is what is not there. There's no professional in the town who can come with a e-billing solution. E-billing is electronic billing, where you don't have to print and mail the bills. So the town administrator is sending in this same response of last email that they need to hire more people to print and mail the bills. So, and that's very laughable because they still don't understand the technology. They still think that the bill has to be printed and it has to be mailed, and that's the wrong assumption. There are technology available where people can see the bills online without they can sign up for bills. They can pay online without being sent a paper bill. Another thing which is happening in the utility world is that the utilities are charging extra money, extra fees for paper bills.
Didn't we cancel that? Didn't the board, I thought we voted to cancel that. They never approved that either.
They never implemented it. They never
Oh, they
implemented
never,
it.
okay.
Yeah, they never implemented
Because
it.
they were planning to do that, and
They never implemented it. We wanted the whole process to be more streamlined, more easy for everyone.
Right.
Even for it, we would have helped the town employees to handle the finance. But somehow the town does not understand the technology world, which is moved on from the paper billing to electronic billing end to end. And if they are still planning to, print and mail during the office hour, that is also wrong. The bills can be generated in the night on the cloud without any human intervention. There are multiple vendors who can help the town to do that, but town has shown no interest in improving the billing system or handling the money properly. And it's not a small amount. $15 million is a huge amount for
Yeah.
the whole process. And just to make one more statement, the paper billing cost more than electronic billing. So if you are sending a paper, you can easily assume there is $4 to $5 cost, human cost, printing cost, and let's say mailing cost for a paper bill. Electronic bill will have at most $1, less than $1 charges based on the lot of utilities work which we have done.
it's interesting that you brought this up, because one of the things they said about us, a criticism, is that we're not modern, that we're behind the times. We're stuck in 1895. But, what you're saying is that they're the ones who are stuck.
That's correct.
Yeah.
That's correct. The town is still stuck in the white invoice-based paper bills, which are totally outdated.
Okay, so there was a statement, I guess I'll bring it up related to this, of response to the executive session and for your request from the commission to our agent. And they said they appreciate looking into these matters and assuring accountability and fairness. But instead, it transfers over to a complaint about the members and about possibly the believing that the executive session was somehow illegal. And, I found it unfortunate. I don't have any animus towards any of the selectmen or the town administrator. I think they're wonderful people. The town administrator came to that meeting at the finance committee hearing that we really officially didn't get invited to.
Well,
And as such, there's 6 staff members, plus the administrator, plus he had an attorney on the phone to, kind of push the article for the selectmen. And instead of meeting with us and trying to work out differences or explain missions and hear criticism or mutual concerns, it just went to this level, like a atom bomb type of thing. It was very unfortunate.
Well, John, you might not have an animus towards the selectmen, but I find it hypocritical that they're an elected board. And, they got their position because people voted for them. And it's interesting that they want to get rid of another elected board. And that doesn't sound interesting. It doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, they have some criticisms. I told you, we're not efficient, we're behind the times. Well, everything that they said about us applies to them. And I don't know if they realize that or not, but that's what they're doing. And it comes down to control of the dollar. they want to control the dollar. They want to control all the three revenue streams that Mr. Mishra was talking about.
Well, what wasn't the, I'll let you say, at one time, the treasurer and the collector were elected,
That's correct.
and that was taken away. They were overseeing the money. The personnel board was dismantled as such. And it seems that now it's the sewer and water with their money, with the enterprise funds and the ratepayer funds. And then, quite frankly, the next steps, folks, if you draw the line, the next step would be get rid of the planning board, make that appointed, and then make town meeting appointed. Then it'll be smooth sailing. When I see the town meeting record, it shows all 12 articles, and it says 500, 800, 1100, 500. I'm saying to myself, is this the only board that disagrees with anything? So I think for the public, it's a dangerous, slippery slope to get rid of an elected board. I guess we're not going quickly into the night. And if this is an artifact of a big misunderstanding, we'd like to remedy it. I went to the selectmen's meeting and offered to meet with them to try to respond to actual legitimate concerns they have, to try to clear up differences in any way I could, and agree to improve whatever that might be inappropriate for us to change our ways or change something. But I haven't heard anything back, and I think it's very anonymous. I don't like the fact that there was actually no one there to present the positive case. It was just innuendo and an email exchange. But the Finance Committee felt very comfortable not having anybody present the arguments against the Sewer and Water Commission. It's just,
Well, we never heard, we've not heard from the select board. They've
Right,
never
there's no name.
contacted us.
yeah.
And the memo which was sent to us in the last meeting was as if the select board just made the article out of blue. But the memo which was given to Finance Committee was 4 or 5 page long memo, and what was sent to us was 1 page memo. So what is lacking is the transparency. What is happening is that town is playing with this memos and all, and saying that this is not my responsibility, this is somebody else's responsibility, and that transparency is bad for is the lack of transparency is bad for the democracy, to be more clear. And it just shows a power game which is not great. We are here to serve the public, not to play memo or power games by hiding memos and hiding the real reason of removing an elected board.
I think Mr. Hamilton has the question.
Mr. Hamilton,
Mr. Chairman, are you going to recognize me?
I'm sorry.
Sure.
You
He didn't see you, I know he
gotta
didn't.
move up a little bit. yeah.
Okay, but let me just say, there was a question about our expertise on this board, and I think I should explain. I became an RTM in 1975. I joined the Conservation Commission in 1975, and at that point in time, I was asked to bring to Dr. Mott at University Amherst all our plans. The most important, of course, was the Garrity and Miller study, and the MAPC and the other studies, but they weren't as good and as accurate as the Garrity and Miller. That became their landmark study for Garrity and Miller. Now, what Dr. Mott said was that our aquifer and drinking water, it was under duress, and that I needed to go from his office directly to the Audubon Society, where they recommended IEP, and IEP and Gregor McGregor, the environmental law firm, to help us do the Water Resource Protection Overlay District. And we did that. And for 2 years, I got to work in the field because IEP had 30 hydrologist volunteers helping us correct all the maps that needed to be correct. And once we got all that done, and we went to town meeting, we had to get the approval of the Secretary of Environmental Affairs and the Department of Environmental Protection, DEP, to approve our Water Resource Protection Overlay District, because it was not a local bylaw. It was something that was a Zone 2 bylaw by the state. And that's what our Water Resource Protection Overlay District is. And it protects our drinking water. Now, some of you on this board are probably aware that Baker Hughes has a hydrologist doing studies of the of our aquifer for drinking water, and they have several really bad plumes of pollution that came from the aquifer in Area 3 in South Walpole. And it came from the bird plant, and Baker Hughes bought the bird plant. So they own it, and they own all the contaminations under the bird plant. And there are many really bad chemicals, some that they have no treatment for. So we have a serious problem with our water supply, and we need to get out there and do something. Now, Dr. Mott said that we should find another water source for drinking water.
Can we are on Article 7. Do you want to be on Article 7?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, because they want to get
Please.
rid of us.
Yeah.
And I just want to explain that you have expertise in the finance, along with John, who is a professor, and Pat, who has been an integral part of the water supply system for as long as I can remember. So we have expertise, and we've been doing a good job. However, there are people that seem to think we haven't been doing a good job, and they're incorrect. And the Water Resource Protection Overlay District is not being enforced by the town. I talked to the building inspector, I think he's left now, but he said Area 3 was a recharge area. But it wasn't. Area 3 is a Zone 2, and it's not being treated like a Zone 2. We've had several bad things happen to our Zone 2 water supply. And the town council finally told HAC at that hearing that they have no authority for a 40B to override our Water Resource Protection Overlay District. And they've let it be override too many times. Now, we're gonna have problems with School Meadow Brook Wellfield. We already have hazardous materials at the wellhead that are in parts per trillion below the drinking water safety.
Well, Bill, I'm going to let you talk under the next topic if you want, but I think we have been doing a good job, and all the things you say are true. And we have consultants right now as we speak studying the School Meadow Brook about the water sources and potential future supply of satellite well. So you can plug right into that, and I think that's valid.
Well, John, let me tell you, from working with IEP knew that we had to get a new water resource. We don't have enough water. And Stoughton what was it, 30 years, had a building moratorium because they needed to build a reservoir. They finally did. The MWRA couldn't supply them with enough water. Now, they're only offering us 1 million gallons a day. Right now, before, we were getting 3 million gallons a day out of School Meadow Brook and 1 million when we wanted it out of Mine Brook. Now, if School Meadow Brook goes away because these plumes of pollution that are under the Bird Machine site come to the wellheads, we'll be like down the Cape. Those plumes of pollution moved circular around and around and around. And there were a lot of people that joined class action suits because they were drinking water that wasn't good drinking water, because they didn't know when these plumes of pollution were at the wellhead that was pumping drinking water into their homes. Now, we have to be careful of that. Now, Baker Hughes, because they're responsible for the pollution, they've got a hydrologist who's doing a study of those plumes of pollution that we've identified. And there are many of them, and they're very bad contaminants. Now, some of them are already at the wellhead, but in parts per trillion, low enough that it won't stop our water supply
Right now.
right now.
But your point's very well taken, but I'm gonna have to cut you off because we have to move through this. But you are telling the public, it's a valuable resource. Mr. Hamilton is gonna be on the commission for 3 years. He's gonna be able to cross-examine the people, the engineers and the scientists we have examining School Meadowbrook right now as we speak. You're gonna be able to look in the Baker Hughes study to see what the results are and cross-examine, investigate those. There's a lot of research of underlayment, and when they say we don't have expertise, I don't think the people sitting in the finance committee chair have any clue as to what's involved in this commission. But I don't want to continue on this. Bill.
Let me just wrap this up now. The fact is, we have a situation where we could lose School Meadow Brook. We've got enough plumes of pollution there with enough once that starts moving, and if it moves to the School Meadow Brook well, and I think this is what happened in the past when we had the TCE pollution, where we pumped water to waste so that we could keep pumping drinking water. Now, if School Meadow Brook goes belly up because of contamination, like the AFABs, then we won't have an opportunity to pump to waste.
Okay.
We will not.
You've said that. We get it, but I'm telling you, we have consultants working on that right now, and you are a commissioner. You have every right to intervene, to go over, to do whatever you want, but you can't repeat that to keep telling the public. The public isn't going to do anything about it.
Wait a minute. Your consultants
Then let's
approved.
stay on the topic. The topic
Yeah.
as of now is Article 6.
Why they want to get rid of us?
Yeah.
Now,
You've established that you're well-informed and involved in this environmental aspect of the aquifer, so we have to move on to the
well, we have a
rest of the agenda.
consultant that approved a cemetery in Area 3, it was in Area 3, which is a Zone 2, and it was my raising the issue and fighting it that caused DEP to order the sewer and water to hire a hydrologist to look at it. And what did that hydrologist find? He found that contamination from those bodies that were not treated and just wrapped in sheets and put in the ground would contaminate our well field, School Meadow Brook, in 6 years and 9 months. Now, that was a consultant that we had who initially approved that cemetery. So just the fact that we have some consultants doesn't mean that we're doing a good job. Now, we got to do a good job, and I think that the people...
We'll let you take charge of that, and you can give the commission some marching orders and your ideas about what to do about it, because we can't, at this particular meeting, we can't solve that problem. There's
more that the people need to know.
You're trying to re-adjudicate the past. You can't.
No,
go back.
Now we built fields on top of the recharge of our aquifer. And when we built those fields, and I talked to the people who helped, my backyard flooded and other backyards flooded, because if you look at the forest where the fields were built, there were no streams, brooks, or rivers coming out of there. So now, we have taken
Bill,
away.
You're way off
we're
topic.
off the topic,
You're justifying one of the criticism of the commission, that we jabber on and carry on
We have to be on
into
the topic.
ridiculous amounts, and that's, you're just trying to establish a criticism.
we can edit
You've gone
the,
too far.
agenda.
Could we let Mr. Hamilton next month, or next week, actually,
Anytime.
continue? Can you hold that a little bit of this information? Because it is fascinating what you're saying, and you have a grasp on some of the stuff here. I mean, especially when you knew it was 6 years and 9 months. I mean, I remember that, I forgot how long it was about that,
Okay.
that cemetery. But could we,
Let's just
would
wrap
you
up.
mind if we put this off until next week?
Well, I'm hoping with the Article 7 fails.
Well,
And-
No, that is
the
in
town
October
meeting
20.
is October 20th, so
It's
we have a
not
few
okay.
meetings between now
Well,
and
we gotta
then.
educate people.
Sure.
Okay,
All
for the
right.
next meeting, we'll do that.
Okay.
What, just wrapping up this, I guess, you're gonna hear a few examples, if you stay tuned. We're gonna be discussing the MWRA connection next, after this Article 7. I would just, and I'll make some points in it, but people need to realize that our water, right now, the figures that's in Mr. Johnson's memo about water connection, the water we produce, he falsely said it was a .0015, which is 1/10 of a penny. It's really 7/10 of a penny per gallon, full cost against our budget. That compares to $2.38 or 39 cents for Poland Springs gallon of water at the Stop and Shop. So the tenths of a penny, this is where we are in efficiency, and we're trying not to be penny wise and pound foolish by focusing in on our system is so efficient and economical. What we have to do is preserve it. And everybody admits there's a stressed aquifer, it's a stressed basin. We do need supplemental water, and we're pursuing that on all avenues. No one's made any predisposition about the MWRA versus anything else. All shots are being taken. We've examined Jarvis Farm, we've done perimeter testing around some of our existing wells that are failing. We've looked into the MWRA, we've looked into a number of things. So that's an ongoing with a top-rate consulting company, and we're doing that, and a solution that we come up with will not be a one-time solution, it'll be a rolling solution, because the wells are slowly dying, they can be rejuvenated, and their useful life cycle can be extended by not overusing them, by arresting them, by rehabbing them, and that's what we want to do. That's why we're trying to find an alternative water source soon and get a decision about the MWRA supplemental, if that is part of the solution, not the only solution or not the end of the solutions, because it goes beyond that. From a long-term planning view, we have to take baby steps and then big steps until the whole issue is resolved. And just thinking about that, some of the big things we've done, Mr. Fasanello, this board negotiated with your advice to the MWRA to make sure that the entire town of Walpole has the capacity to be served by sewer, which almost no other town has. And that's really a compliment.
What it is that we have taken care of our infrastructure so that during these huge rainstorms that we're getting with climate change and all, all of the towns except Walpole had what they called sewer overflows, okay, outfalls. And those are there to protect homes. In other words, instead of the sewage coming back into your house, there's outfalls that put it into the environment, which is, of course, a bad thing. Walpole is the only town on the MWRA system that did not have any of those outfalls. So that's a big feather in our cap. I mean, that's amazing. Every place else did. And that's because we've used the money, especially the I&I funds, which the town, by the way, that's another, I want to talk about that at the next meeting. The I&I funds and how the town has tied our hands and in effect tied the people's hands too. So we'll have to continue. You do yours, and I'll do mine next Monday. How's that?
Okay.
Okay.
Very good. So let's move on to the MWRA water connection project. I think I'm going to start. I just got 2 sheets that I want to show. Just to show that there's not a lack of expertise with the sewer and water. Okay, you can see that, Patrick? Yes. The pursuit of the MWRA system entails a long...
Excuse me, you need the mic, okay, because they're not going to hear you.
Yeah, just point it more towards you.
The MWRA system, joining the water system is a long process. We've been involved for 7 years. I have email correspondence back from 2019 with the MWRA. We have continued to pursue and explore that opportunity, and we've done a good job of being, other towns have given up, a lot of people in this town gave up, they just didn't think it was too expensive, it wasn't going to happen. And by pursuing it, we've actually got to a state where money has been saved. The MWRA had an $8 million entry fee when we really started looking into this. You know, after we've talked to them for a number of times and how expensive it was and how we'd like to join.
Excuse me, John, that mic you can take off and take it with you.
Yeah, okay.
I
I don't think so.
Patrick,
Oh,
can you
yeah.
help him?
I got it.
Oh, okay.
There it goes. All right. So after talking to them and so forth, they realized they could make 50 million gallons a day available to petitioning communities. And so they started a program, which we jumped right into for applying, where they wiped out $8 million. And I think part of that was based on our pursuit, that it was a good thing to let the communities in, and they had excess capacity, and they didn't really need the $8 million. They're going to get paid for the water. So we saved $8 million right there on that project. During the process, we had to find a way to get the water from Dedham and Milton to Walpole. So it had to be through Norwood. Initially, our staff and engineers from both towns, they all met, and they came back to us with a price of $7.9 million to use all the piping in the systems between these other areas, the mileage to Walpole to get it right to our door, right on Mallard Street. $7.9 million. Well, that was accepted by everybody, but we thought that was expensive. So our members, or member, went to the head of Norwood, the town manager, and negotiated that down to $5 million. So we saved $2.9 million. And that's not to say we're going to do this, but this is how we work to make it economical. If we do it, it's economical for our ratepayers and our customers. At Mallard Street was going to have a pump station, and the pump station was estimated at $5.2 million. Well, wouldn't you know, we investigate and we find out Wesson and Sampson, our consultant, built the same pump station in Sharon to connect to Norwood for $1.1 million. So we began investigation. Again, if you have people who are good old boy appointees, you appoint people to these committees, and they want to keep you happy, they're not going to do this kind of investigation, because that's not their role. Their role is to be happy with the board they're on. We looked into this, and actually, Weston Sampson couldn't answer my question. I said, you were paid to design a pump station exactly like what we want. Why can't we just get the plans? Oh, no, that belongs to Sharon. We have to do our own plan, you know. So, but at any rate, we found that part of the proposal of the 5.2 million was the piping on Mylard Street between the Norwood line and the actual soccer field where the pump station was going to be. So then we realized they were charging almost $2 million for the piping of the water from the Norwood line to the soccer field. This is from our administration's budget. So in looking at it, we if you see on the capital budget, like we put in $2 million a year, sometimes twice a year, for pipe replacement and upgrade of our water pipes. And the water pipes have an age of over 100 years. Some of the pipe systems we're replacing are 50 years old. They could go another year. They could go 2 years. So I proposed, and Mr. Abbott, to take one year and use one of those $2 million piping increments to pay for the piping from Norwood to the Mylard station. That way the ratepayers aren't paying double. And all you're doing is pushing a couple streets to be replaced at 45 years instead, or 46 years instead of 45, or 50 years instead of 51, whatever it is. So there's no basic loss of anything. It's just a savings. And it's because we think like that. No other parties in this thing, you know, big government is good to people if they work in government. They like spending money. They like having good consultants. They don't like trying to cut the price tag down. We also have a savings, which is hard to explain, but on the wheeling charge is a mechanism where we can save $200,000 plus a year on a way to the way the wheeling charge is going to work with Norwood. And then we have the pump house itself. If we do the 2 million up here, it's 3.2 million, which is a little more in range. We still could, I think we're going to get that down to 2 million. But we came up with the idea that instead of borrowing that money, which means you pay for it 3 times, for 20 years, if you borrow 3.2 million, you wind up paying 10. So instead of doing that, we're going to pay as you go. And pay as you go means that we're going to have a we have a capital improvement fee, and it will cost the ratepayers about $25 to $26 a year. It comes out to like a cup of coffee every month or other month, or one visit to McDonald's. So $26 a month, each ratepayer will have insurance that we're going to have water from the MWRA, the best water in North America, at our beck and call, no problems. That's just like buying some kind of a indemnity or homeowner's insurance that somebody doesn't fall on your sidewalk. So that's saving the ratepayers the difference between the 10 million and the 3 million. You should have written it could be 6 million savings, not 3.2. But you get the picture. We've worked outside the box on behalf of the ratepayers and tried everything possible to get it down. Not everybody or every consultant is looking to do that. Many of the consultants like to spend as much as they can and take as much time as they can. So we've been policing this. If this proposal comes to fruition, the water rates won't only be affected hardly at all, if at all, and probably still keep it under less than a penny a gallon. So that's a great job, $16.3 million. I wanted to point that out because I take exception to the thing about expertise. I think that we're doing a great job. Show me another committee that's saving the town money. All the other committees are spending money. We're not only making millions of dollars a year, as Pradeep says, we're making, the enterprise funds, which are millions, for the town, for infrastructure. And on these projects, we're trying to save. Okay.
You're going to entertain questions while you're there?
Sure.
Okay, now you said that you could use the same plans that were used. Now, Sharon is getting water from the MWRA?
Yeah, no, we can't, they said it's proprietary.
Well, that's true, and it's also true that every plan has to be customized for the client. So there's a lot of work that goes into the pumping station plan that is identical from Sharon to Walpole, but there's a lot that is not. There's different heights that the pump has to reach. There's different amounts of water that it has to pump. So it's
being designed now, Bill, we actually.
Yes, but I'm just defending, having worked for water consultants, sewer consultants, I know these problems because I had to work with them.
No,
So, and a big problem in doing a plant is what the terra firma is like. How much are you going to have to blast out of the below shelf rock and hard pan? So it's not as easy as taking one plan and moving to another. But people have done it, and they have.
I'm not suggesting we take the plan from Sharon, I'm just pointing out that through our diligence, we didn't just accept 5.2 million carte blanche and forget about it. We looked into it and found out facts and got the thing whittled down. That's all. I'm not saying we're not accepting anything, we're not adopting anything from Sharon. The point is, I'm just illustrating how we provide our diligence in studying these projects and these programs. We don't just take the piece of paper like some committees do. They take from the administration, they take the payment, and it's the 800500. We don't do that.
No, but I have to point out, you're also talking about Article 7 now.
Yeah. No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. You're talking about how good job we do.
So,
Well, I'm showing on the MWRA, since you did that, I'll get rid of my papers and I can go back.
Oh, you're going to go for the gavel, huh?
So, just one comment, like, the MWRA, the last meeting, our board voted for the memorandum of understanding with Norwood. And it was asked again and again by town administrator to have that vote. And that last meeting, we voted to have the draft of MOU with Norwood. And I was expecting it to come at least this week to us for review. I don't see, that work is being done, and we have asked that multiple times.
Right. But we have to be diligent in reminding the town and pushing them to go ahead and follow follow what we're asking to have done.
That's correct.
And on the MWRA, just carrying on with what's going on there, and again, this is just one alternative. They may not I was told we have a 65% chance of passing from the DEP on to the MWRA, and if we get to the MWRA stage, it's about a 95% chance that they would give us an offer. And then we would go to the town meeting and have them decide if they want to do that or something else. So it's a long process. But just one of the criticisms of that alternative is that it would cost so much money. But as I just showed you, this is a water cost comparison of our old budget. They might pay a little bit more than 7/10 of a penny now, but this is from the Johnson memo. The figures he used for the MWRA and Walpole. He had the MWRA figures wrong, or excuse me, the Walpole figures, he was using variable costs, not fixed cost. He didn't include the fixed costs. Obviously, if you tell him what your water costs, the fixed costs go in too, not just the variable cost. He was talking about the chemicals and what the lights and what it costs to run a system, but not the whole budget. You got to invite the gallonage we get from Bill to the budget for the water. So MWRA, their cost is 4/10 of a penny. I'd say 5/10 of a penny. And there's gonna be a 20% wheeling fee, which just gets it up to almost 6/10 of a penny. So they're still a little bit lower than our cost. And then when you add the financing for the wheeling fee in, it'll make them just about even. So when people saying it's gonna cost way too much, it really isn't gonna cost way too much. It's whittled down to so much, it's like a golden opportunity that no one should really be concerned about. And again, we may find better solutions, and we have to wait for the results. We've been kept in the dark a little bit about the exploration around the wells, but apparently Jarvis Farm did not pass any opportunity over there. So,
John,
carry on.
John, have we taken a vote on how we feel about Article 7?
So last meeting, there was a vote, which we said that board has voted against. See, it's in the.
Dr. Hasenjag, that was a very good presentation.
Yeah, last, it was there.
Yeah, what is the vote? Did all five of us vote against it, Article 7?
You were not there, so
400.
it was no, not
No,
4-0,
301.
301. This was the vote.
Commissioner Abbott wanted to do some further research.
Oh,
Don't
okay.
forget, we had just gotten this. I mean, it was out of the blue.
I understand, but we need to have a vote, and that's why I
It
came
was
tonight.
there, it was there in the last meeting, on Article 7.
Yeah, but
The board voted 301
301, but we need
against the sewer and water.
we need to get a
articles.
vote 500.
And we need to get him back.
Yeah,
So we.
But he's
voted
on.
there.
You want to repeat a vote, just a reaffirming vote, so we could say it's 400, and then we'll try to.
okay.
Mr. Abbott,
We- we
It's up to
voted
you.
I'll move to reconsider the vote.
On Article 7 for, against the town removing the elected board of sewer and water.
Yes.
Okay,
Anyone second?
or second it?
Who seconded? Did
You
you second
No,
that?
I just read the.
I'll
motion.
second it, sure.
Okay, so it's moved and seconded, reconsider the vote for support or non-support of Article 7.
Against the Article 7, to remove the elected board of sewer
Yeah,
and water.
yeah.
Yes.
Vote for or against it.
You
So
want to vote?
a yes vote is against it, right?
Yes,
I'll vote yes.
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 Okay, there you go, Bill.
So it's a 4-0-0.
To reconsider it.
To be reconsidered.
I got a text message to reconsider that.
Okay, now we have Pradeep's request. You had a letter back from the town administrator?
Yeah, I think this was all flops about, we have asked for monthly billing multiple times, so this discussion is about that particular statement. And the reason is that we are going to spend, in his memo itself, he's giving the numbers that we are going to spend 1.7 million for meter upgrades, 2 million in financial year 27 to meter system upgrade. But there's no dates for when the town can switch to the monthly billing. So this is like spending almost $3.7 million in next 2 years on meter system upgrades from different funds. But there's no timeline when the town will switch to the monthly billing. I propose that the town, and there's another issue here where they are assuming that the paper bills has to be printed and it has to be mailed, and that's a wrong assumption because we are asking for technology upgrade. We are not asking for human upgrades. We are asking for technology upgrades, and the technology upgrades can take care of automated billing in the night, in the cloud. It can be done during off business hours. and it can be emailed to the recipient. So having said that, the e-billing options, end-to-end e-billing option of monthly can be done through a pilot. We don't have to shift everyone to monthly billing at once. There are already 10 billing groups, more than 10 billing groups Walpole is using to send the quarterly bills at different month. So it's already spread out for them to run the different billing groups at different point of time in a quarter. So adding a new billing group where people can sign up for monthly billing as a pilot, and it's all electronic billing. And the electronic billing, we don't have to explain to the resident. They know, everyone knows. No one wants to, go to the post office and buy a stamp to make this happen. And it's happening across all the utility. So I suggest that the town create a separate pilot project now and transition to, and run this project until it fully transition. Everyone else sign up. The resident will sign up. We are not forcing anyone a monthly billing on the resident. We are not forcing anyone to go to the post office and buy a stamp. We are not forcing anyone to pay 40 cents extra. This type of payment are called auto pay. Auto pay is across the utility. I get $5 discount on my Verizon phone bill if I do auto pay. And I can give you example of multiple other utilities which give discount when people sign up for auto pay. And what we are suggesting that the town starts the e-billing option with a free ACH payment as a pilot and before rolling out to the all a person in the town. So that's the suggestion.
Okay.
For discussion, yeah, please.
Mr. Hamilton?
Okay, I just have to reach back. When you were talking about the audit, I worked with Tom Brown when he was on this commission.
Yes.
To do the audit, and I was working at One Ashburton Place as a consultant, and I spent a lot of time over in the State House, and I met the state auditor, and he wanted to do the audit for us, and they stopped him. He would have done a great job. He was a great guy, a good auditor, and then we get that audit that we had to pay some money for that I don't think was as competent and as good as the state auditor would have done. I just wanted to say that.
So, any points on the monthly billing pilot or something?
Oh.
So, shall I make a motion then?
Sure.
Okay. So this was already actually discussed and made the motion before, but I'm going to make the motion again that we pilot, the town of Walpole pilot a monthly e-billing with free ACH payment in one billing group before town-wide rollout and to basically move and help the residents.
I'll second that for discussion purposes. I have a question. I'm in favor of this, 100%. But I don't want to get put into that situation where they want me to give them some kind of a card, a credit card, and they automatically
Oh,
bill me.
no.
We don't
No,
want to
this-
get into that.
This is not the. This is not-
Okay, so then I'll vote in favor of this.
Yeah, this is free ACH, this is monthly e-billing, like,
Yeah.
the bills also will come by.
I want to be able to say, pay it or not.
Yes, that's correct, yeah. And so we have second.
You have a second, and,
Yeah,
I vote aye.
aye, so.
Aye.
Okay, 400.
400.
All right. So, an old business,
There's one
Oh,
more
go ahead.
statement, which is a public financial statement.
Oh,
In the last meeting, the board had requested the town issue a public statement summarizing the 5-year trends of actual budget, actual revenue, and the retained earnings, so that residents may have clear and transparent understanding of the financial condition of water and sewer enterprise funds. And these are like huge funds now, there's like $15 million funds, and the trend has to be shown to the public why it is more important to have more eyes. Maybe 10 years back, the water and sewer enterprise fund may be less than $10 million. but every year we are adding another $1 million as a cost to the ratepayers. So ratepayers, they need to understand the trend, last 5-year trends of the cost of water, which is being, which was already paid by them, and that we asked for this statement, but the memo response was that each year in the budget message, they say that, but we are asking for a summary which needs to be compiled and given to the board. And I want to reaffirm through the board that the town provide the summary of this financial statement for us to give the clear picture to the residents.
When you say a clear picture too, that's important. If you look at the page 3 of the August 19th. No, wait a minute.
No, this is just the actual budget.
No, I
So
know.
if the budget was, let's say, $8 million 5 years back, it is now $15 million.
Yeah.
The actual revenue is $15 million. So it is more important for, second eye and checks and balances when you are making money in millions, $15 million. It's more important than before, because now average monthly bill of the resident is going beyond, let's say, $100 an average per month, and that's going to impact their family budget. And if the trends continue, it has to be monitored more independently than current way of randomly selecting billing groups and sending them new rates.
Okay.
Um,
Anything else?
Well, we're going down Java's Farm.
Sure.
I want to, Mr. Hamilton's going
Why don't you
to
take
give
over?
his rest of his presentation next Monday, is that right?
Sure, no problem.
Okay, I want to piggyback off that Java's Farm stuff,
Yeah, go ahead.
and I won't do it now, because
Oh.
it's going to be a repeat.
Yeah.
And the I&I, especially the, excuse me, especially the I&I fee, and how that, if you remember in this memo from the town administrator, he said, we put the town in legal jeopardy. Remember him saying that? Well, in effect, I can't find out how he ever did that, but I can find out how the town administration put us in legal jeopardy and put the town therefore in legal jeopardy. And I'll talk to that when we get to the I&I, okay? But it's too long and convoluted to really take up tonight.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Anything on else? I have something on meter to cash.
yes, do you want to do it now or next week?
Do you have anything update on it? Okay. So the meter to cash, there is a part where the superintendent was giving the report on the number of new meters.
Yes.
So I think the last week it was 936 meter. And the way it is that these are smart meters, and they shows every minute, every hours of data online on a website called Eye on Water. Eye on Water is also on mobile app, where you can go and see how much water you used,
Yeah.
let's say 1 hour back or last week.
You have a meter now?
I have that meter.
I do too.
Yeah, Eye on Water.
I'm John Hassenjäger. He'll tell you, Oscar, when he comes back, about his what happened when he called town hall
Okay.
about the meter. Do you have one?
Do you have the new
A new
meter?
water meter,
No.
the
Okay.
smart water meter.
So smart
It
water.
gives you readouts and everything. It's wonderful. But they haven't finished putting them in every place.
So the board has already approved that installation, and we have already asked the town to publish that information on the town website. it is not there on the town website.
Okay, so why
And-
isn't it?
And the Sharon, town of Sharon, has the Eye on Water, one full page, what is Eye on Water, how to sign up, how to look up your water bill. So I think we have already crossed more than 1,000 installation, we should have that information on water department's website about Eye on Water, and example can be taken from the town of Sharon.
Information. You might want to talk about that now.
No,
John, we were talking about the meters,
New meters, new
the
smart
new
meters.
smart meters.
I'm a little confused on how to use them, I have to admit.
But didn't you call town hall?
Well, I
before?
tried to get a code number and all this type of thing. I haven't resolved. I'm not going to point the finger at anybody, for sure. Yeah, basically, I mean, okay. So this is the last topic?
I think, well, there is one new business. They forgot to put new business on. I want to talk about new business. Shall I talk about now?
Are you all done, Bill?
You all done?
yeah,
Okay. When town meeting starts and we get the warrant, the first order of business, the first article is report of the committees. Well, we're a committee,
yeah,
and I think we have some things to report.
yeah.
So, I was thinking, maybe we should treat the town meeting to a little report from the Sewer and Water Commission, the elected board. Okay? To wit, we will tell them what we've been doing, and we'll try to be as modern as we can. And I noticed that when Pradeep ran last time, his campaign was really spectacular. He had some very good audio visuals. And I wonder, I'll ask you, could you help us with that? But
So-
also, you can ask our agent, the
Yeah.
town administrator, to give you any materials or,
No, so
help you
that,
need.
that can be done through PowerPoint, and we, as a board, we can ask even the superintendent of water to present the, let's say, Eye on Water, the meter upgrades.
that'd
which
be
are there
perfect,
already,
yeah.
The MWRA status. And the reason is, it's about continuity also, like, if the town hall is going to vote on, let's say, $2 million or $3 million on meter system upgrade, they should know what is that upgrade, and why the town is spending that much money.
Tell me about Sharon now. They have iron in their water,
Yes,
and they have manganese rather?
no,
Not magnesium, manganese. Do they have manganese also?
no,
It's just iron.
no, Eye on Water is the app name. Is the
Iron.
Eye on Water
Iron.
is the
Ion?
on water.
Oh, eye on water.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
It's a website name.
I'm thinking water treatments here.
No.
Iron. Okay.
It's
Eye.
it's to watch your own water.
Watch your
use.
water. Eye on water. Okay. Got it.
Now, are we gonna,
My hearing aids must be a little bit off.
we're gonna be talking next week about I&I?
And
The next
because
meeting,
what
yeah.
you're talking about, right,
Yeah,
comes down to, it connects with I and I. Let me put it that way. Okay?
oh, but I&I is legitimate for next meeting.
I and I is going to be on the agenda, is that correct? We're going to have these 4 things on the agenda again,
Correct.
okay? And we can also have Article 7 open session still. We need to have MWRA, what's happening at MWRA, plus whatever else we need on there.
We have an
There'll be-
appointment with
Huh?
we have an appointment with Mr. Brady.
Yo, sure,
Yeah.
put it on there.
Oh, when, next week?
Yeah,
I can't come.
Who's Mr. Brady then?
None.
the McDonald's parking lot,
The
the
what?
sewer. The one at the sewer,
McDonald's-
Walpole's.
That
McDonald's
is
parking lot.
September 22nd.
McDonald's.
Oh, McDonald's, okay, yeah, I think Mr. Hamilton needs to recuse himself on that, huh?
Well, I've been threatened to be in conflict of interest, so I don't see it, but I don't want to test it.
Could you explain why, how it's a
No, he
conflict?
can just recuse himself. You don't have to.
You can just go to another.
You just go in the other room. If you're not here, and then they come
For
and
that
tell you when
topic.
they're gone.
You know, you're an asset to us, we can't have you.
When they come in, before we start, Mr. Hamilton's gonna recuse himself. You leave.
When that topic
When
comes.
they're done,
for
we
the-
come and get you.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
So,
Well, I don't want to be here for that because if someone's correct about
You-
that, then I could be fined
No,
something
no,
like
you
$10,000.
don't
Oh, all right, I understand,
it's up
that's,
to you, but you
that's
can't
one of the
recuse
legal-
yourself. They've been very polite and waiting and put them off quite a
his,
few meetings.
his, I speaks to that, by the way, believe it or not.
Well, it's going to go
Not that
down,
particular case, but the idea of liability.
that particular case is going to go down Washington Street.
That's your, yeah, but I'm saying, there's more things that happen like that,
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
So, yeah, I think Steve, when you talk about AV, we can try to get something. The PowerPoint that is included in the Johnson memo of March 24th, he presents like a PowerPoint. You've seen this, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Best
That's
in
what
sense.
we asked Leah to get to us, but she never sent it to me, but she sent it to him or somebody, I guess.
Yeah.
But we could get a copy of this and use this too if you wanted, but I would just say,
Whatever the board wants.
yeah,
We should summarize, the current status of MWRA connection.
yeah,
and,
briefly, I think that they want that.
And the smart meters upgrades, which are costing
Right.
millions of dollars.
Good idea. All right, I would just say this though, too, anybody who's listening, I guess speaking for myself and in general, I guess commissioners feel pretty much the same way, that we love our staff, we love the people that we work with. We really appreciate their efforts, their intent, and their diligence. And there's no, any of this is basically politics, as I see it. I can't quite put my finger on it, but I believe it deals with the money a little bit, and it also deals with control. And if whoever initiated this article isn't going to come forward, we know, supposedly it's the selectman, and I hope the town administrator doesn't take the wrong impression either, because he says he's in the middle, he's on the fence. If that's true, you know, that's the game. In other words, his job is to come and ask for the most money he can as a town administrator. That's what he's supposed to do. He's trying to build resources and build up a reserve fund and a defense fund for the town and all this type of thing. Knowing that our job is to say no and to
Provide good
push
law.
back on and what's reasonable, and then try to mitigate the difference between the public interest and the government interest. In today's, and this again doesn't reflect the Walpole, but in today's era, people see it all the time in Washington. Big government is out of control, whether it's on a local or a federal level. So there's a push to have a big town government and a big government in general, but there are limits. And I think we're going to have an economic time right coming up in the next few years. They're already starting a lot of layoffs. You're going to find out that we may have overborrowed and overspent. And, and I think maybe that may not reflect so much in sewer water, maybe it does. We're going to have to work together to deal with that. And no one's bad at their town, and we want the town to be the best it can be, and the town administrator does a good job of trying to make the town a good town, but he has to understand our role, and we have to understand his role. It's nothing personal, and he does a good job. Our staff does a good job. Somebody's thinking they have a better way. They know better than we do. We're a pain in the neck. And as you said, Patrick, that's the cost of democracy. That's what it's all about voting, public having the ability to control their government and to have access.
Yeah, and I just want to add one more thing, that we all are volunteers, we've seen that lot of boards does not even show up for a lot of meetings, so it takes a lot of effort for you people, the commissioner to serve a board, to feel the betterment of public. And I say that with proud that you people have done a great job in last, whenever you have been here in the town.
Oh, there's one thing I forgot. Mr. Hamilton, we were chatting before, he said to me, Pat, it needs to be telecast live.
Yeah, should, yeah.
Okay, so, we're gonna put that on the agenda, please.
Which one?
It's live telecast for the sewer and water meeting. Even if they have to bring a van here, you know how they used to do that, Patrick? Were you here when they did that?
The high school.
They brought
Before me.
they brought the van there to the high school.
Oh, we do that, yeah.
Yeah, okay, but,
For which meeting? For which meeting you're asking?
for the town meeting, they did that, I know.
So in other words, Patrick, I think that the issue is, when you're producing like at the library, so you've got that piece of equipment that allows you to broadcast direct. We don't know whether that costs $2,000 or $200,000. But the notion would be, we could probably justify getting a piece of equipment like that for you here. So it might be easier for you too, obviously, than hauling all the stuff here. And we could broadcast live so that people they know when we're meeting and they want to see the meeting, but it isn't on the community television.
They can't find us.
Well, because it isn't put up yet. It's got to be, there's a delay.
Even when it's put up, they can't find us,
I know, it's hard.
right?
Yeah, it's rerun like at 4 in the morning.
Yeah, so, that's one thing, they don't know what's going on with their water system because it's difficult. So that's,
Well, if you're listening, use YouTube. and
well,
look
I
up-
do use YouTube because,
You can look at the meeting, you're good at filing on YouTube, which is probably the universal.
I don't have cable, John.
Yeah, I don't have cable either.
So
And
we
a lot
I
of
have
people
to
don't
use
today.
YouTube. But the people should know at least when this is being broadcast. And by the way, YouTube does live broadcasts, because I watch other towns live.
Well, I've been told that you could stream from here live.
You can. Now, don't do that. We can stream. This Patrick is going like this.
No, we can do WebEx.
Patrick, well, you can make it work.
We tried to make it work for a very long time, and we kept running into problems. And then
We
our
can-
thing got co-opted by the computer over there.
We
so-
can do Zoom
Yeah.
webinar.
All we can say is try harder.
We can-
Okay.
Well, what about meeting at the library?
Well, we have, that's
Better parking.
problematic too. We have to, well, the reason we meet here, and we had this built especially for our meetings, is because it does have plenty of parking.
No,
and-
it doesn't.
And it also is reserved for us. Because what was happening in the old days when I first started here, I mean, we were meeting at Blackburn Hall, we were meeting at the Council on Aging room, we were meeting in the Selectman's office in the Old Town Hall. Every meeting was at a different place. It was untenable, because they were giving us the last, they scheduled us last. So we said, when this was being built, can we have a meeting room here?
Patrick, we have no audience here tonight.
That's right.
That's a message.
What's the message?
People don't come here.
Well, they don't see us either. If they knew we were here, they might come. That's why we should go
There's a lot
live.
of meeting where,
So
yeah, that's-
maybe we can look into that with Walpole Television to see if, what it would cost to get them something here so they can broadcast.
Yes, that's why,
Okay,
it's on the agenda, right?
okay, we'll put it on the agenda.
Who's,
Okay.
Patrick, who's in charge of, who's the executive at there?
That would be tomorrow.
Tamara Green.
Green.
Okay, could you relay this to her?
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
She's in the meeting too.
We'd appreciate that.
Okay.
All right.
I
If
make
the-
a motion to adjourn the meeting. I make a motion to adjourn the
Second.
meeting. Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I oppose.